Hi, I'm here in Bend, sitting in my little office, hanging out with y'all, wondering about some of the things I discuss with clients. So I am often talking to people who don't want to have sex or who are in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to have sex. And they're married or they're engaged, they're supposedly lovers. And there's this huge piece around the two of them not wanting to get together. So this might be you because this is so many of us. We want something else, something that we haven't been getting or that we don't perceive we're going to get from what we would call sex. So if this is you or if this is your partner, please listen. There are three things that are really important for you to do and to know about if this is your situation. And the first one is when you're in a situation, a life, a marriage, a relationship where you're not having the kind of sex that you want, you have to start having a conversation that includes a complete emphasis on permission and asking and offering something without pressure. I can't tell you how often the word pressure comes up in my work where people feel pressure, and it's really a killer to turn on when you feel pressure. Either you're a guy or you're a gal whose partner wants more sex and you feel really pressured, like you're supposed to perform. So please don't pressure your partner. Please offer connection to your partner and use things like connection and love and intimacy as what you want rather than getting off, doing it, having sex. I have to have sex. I have to have penetrative sex, or I have to have some kind of sex, or I will not be able to function. Because the truth is right now, you're not having that, right? You're not having that. So we need to accept where we are right now. This is where you are right now. So the place to go with that is this compassionate permission asking in a very kind of welcoming way to your partner. So, I'd like to connect with you. I'd like to be with you. I want to make love to you, or just to please you, right? Please you. So number two, decrease your expectations about what's going to happen. If you have, kind of porn level expectations or Hollywood level expectations, you're going to be disappointed. We know this, right? It's not like that for you. So bring down your expectations. What can you accept yourself at this point in your relationship? What could be on the good enough level for you? The less expectation. So the lower the more you lower your expectations, the more possibility you have to have more touch and affection in your marriage or your relationship. This is the truth. So bring down your expectation. Now I know this is challenging because if you only have any kind of sexual connection every, like 4 to 20 weeks or like every year, you're going to be having high expectations. You want it to be fabulous or good enough, right? But bring down your expectations and you'll be able to have more quantities. And then we'll work on the quality after that. So bring down your expectations. Talk about playing around, or at least in your mind and your heart, think about it as playing around rather than doing it. Okay. So we're going back to like our adolescence when we were playing around, which is a great fit for lots of us, right? Not just like some kind of a formulaic got to do it. Think about playing around, touching, making out, maybe whatever. We're going to talk about that in a second. So the third thing is find out from your partner, or if this is you, if you're the one who really doesn't want to be connected, or you've kind of decided you're retired in this area, which happens a lot, then kind of think about how you would like it. And I like using the restaurant analogy for this. So when you're going to go out for dinner with your partner or somebody, and you're like, okay, we're going to go get dinner on Friday, what should we get? I don't know about you, but I just really don't like it when the person's like, I don't know, what do you want? I don't have any opinion, blah, blah. It's helpful if we at least identify what we don't want to eat. So if you said, for example, in the restaurant idea, I feel great about anything. Please, let's not get Mexican food tonight. Or I would like, anything but Thai food. That narrows the scope of what you're going to be having. Same thing with sex and intimacy. So if you're the person who doesn't like to have as much sex or doesn't want to touch or be physically intimate, if you're that person, the person who's really okay without any sex in your life, what I want you to do is think about something that, talk about what you don't like. So talk about, like, I really don't want to have penetrative sex. I really don't want to have that kind of a thing, but I'd be comfortable with this. So I'd be comfortable with you touching me, if you didn't focus too much on my genitals or my breasts, but if you just kind of stroked my body and let me relax, or if you rubbed my feet or you gave me a head massage, something like that. So you give your partner, this is you, if you're the person who wants less sex, you give your partner something they can do with you that will be intimate physically, that will allow you both to feel close. Yeah. So you give that person a win, because otherwise they have no way to connect with you, no way to give you any pleasure at all. It's very hard for them. They end up feeling isolated. And then what ends up happening is oftentimes they get frustrated and they say, we haven't had sex in 6 months or a year. We're just roommates. I'm so frustrated. I can't stand this. You then start to feel inadequate and tons of pressure, right? And then you feel guilty. And of course, this makes you feel less open and less interested. And it's this vicious cycle. So here are the 3 things. If you're the person who wants more sex, when you connect with your partner and communicate, ask permission and say things like, I want you, I want to connect with you. Don't focus on it, right? Doing it, getting it being sex, right? Don't focus on that. Focus on connection. Number 2, decrease your expectations for both of you, right? So decrease your expectations. Think about playing around rather than doing it. And number 3, if you're the person who wants less intimate connection, who's not as comfortable, figure out something that your partner can do for you or with you, to you, that you will like, that's a low-level thing, not threatening for you. And your partner then may need to do something for themselves to kind of release their own sexual tension, maybe in another room, take a shower, whatever. This is something that they could do. Maybe you provide that as an opportunity for them. You don't have to talk about it completely. I know sometimes it's kind of a embarrassing conversation. That's what I have for you today. Think about it. If you don't want any kind of sex in your relationship, your marriage, your engagement, whatever, these are things you can do to stay close so you don't fall into the category of just being roommates. Talk to you later.